Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday, the 17th day of January, 2025. Happy Friday. I hope you're all safe and healthy today and hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders, who every day are risking their lives to save lives, like those firemen out there in California. Blessings upon those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are helping those that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and those perverts that create the great demands for these multi-billion-dollar evil industries. And finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and veterans homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks will be playing Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, they did play at the Garden in the only preseason game where there was a lot of effort this past preseason. There was like playoff intensity. And of course they did play at the game I was at in Minnesota, a win for the Knicks in both cases. Today they're going to be playing at Madison Square Garden, and you're going to see Julius Randle come back to the Garden for the first time in a regular season game since the trade that brought El Gato Grande to New York. Minnesota did not want to pay the luxury tax that was going to have to be paid with the salary of $50 million of El Gato Grande. So they traded that salary in for $40 million of salary, which was about Julius Randle and Donte DiVincenzo. They really were not as interested in Julius except as a fill-in at the four, and for his salary mostly, for El Gato Grande. They really did want Donte DiVincenzo, a guy that's making less than $12 million, that's clutch. And we know this in New York. He's clutch, and he's big time athlete. Only 6'4", about 200 pounds, but athlete on a high level of athleticism, clutch player, high IQ player, winning type player, coming out of the same Villanova program as the rest of our Villanova guys. He won't be playing tonight. They had a game against Golden State the other day, which they lost by 1 point. I was watching the game. What a game it was. And it was 116-115, and Donte was challenging a three, I think it was, and he hurt his toe, and that toe problem is causing him to be out tonight. The list him is out versus the Knicks. Juju is playing. They are struggling in Minnesota. Right now in Minnesota, they are in I want to say they're in the 8th seed in the West right now, but they're only a game they're in the 8th seed. Yeah, they're only a game from the 6th seed. So when you're in the 6th seed, you avoid the play-in. And so they're a game behind the Lakers for the 6th seed. So that they're very much in the thick of the race in the West. But they've been struggling. They're 5-5 in their last 10. And the reason is, and everybody is kind of alluding to it, some are actually saying it, it's because of Julius Randle. Julius Randle, for all of his wonderful talent, can be a ball stopper, can be somebody that disrupts an offense because he demands the basketball like our own Jalen Brunson. He will dribble the air out of it, and he will stop ball movement, okay? He's a tremendous rebounder, tremendous talent. This is not taking anything away from Juju's talent. We loved him when he was here, but we had our headaches with him too. But that's been the problem. They've been trying to adjust to him. and it's been difficult, especially with Ant and Gobert. It's been difficult for them to adjust to having Julius Randle on their team. And as I said, they really wanted Randle. He's a natural power forward, so that fits with them losing Karl-Anthony Towns, and they were getting a clutch piece in Donte DiVincenzo. And speaking of that, the last 10 games, Donte's been averaging 16 points on 42% shooting from three. He's now, and I thought he would. I think I said this earlier. He struggled at the beginning because he was very comfortable playing in Madison Square Garden. He chose the Knicks when he was a free agent. And so he was thinking, with him, Brunson, and Hart, they would stay here. But once their brother from Villanova came over with Mikal Bridges, it became a little bit of a different situation. That and losing Isaiah Hartenstein to Oklahoma City, the need for a five became evident. And then you combine all that with the fact, as I mentioned earlier, that Minnesota did not want to pay a heavy tax because of the salary of Gato. And I mentioned this more than a year before because we saw it coming. The tax was going to be heavy on them. That market, even though they got a lot of wealthy people in the Minnesota market, don't get me wrong, they're agriculturally rich. A lot of that is there. But that owner did not want to pay that tax. And so he was going to be, and that's why I mentioned the year before, they should really knock on Minnesota's door and see what's up, because we know he didn't want to pay that tax. See, Dolan don't like to pay taxes either, but when it's time to win a chip, he will write the check. Okay, and this is the good thing about having James Dolan as your owner. For all of the people out here listening to big content creators and people that want to hate on Dolan for other reasons than they actually state. But anyway, he'll write the check. But the Minnesota owner did not want to be writing that big check for Gato, because you would have to write that check. He was getting about $49 million this year, $53 next year. He's going to end up around $60 million, and that's big time, real deal dollars, not monopoly money that owner will have to pay. So he didn't want to do it. So he traded that in for Donte and Juju. He could probably trade Juju eventually. Or we'll see, because Juju's up for an extension this year. He ain't getting the money he think he gonna get. Let me tell you that right now. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but that owner ain't paying them big taxes for that. They did want Donte though, and the thing is, Donte has been balling, and he's basically now starting to round into the last game, like the last 5 games, 10 points against New Orleans, 12 against Orlando, 27 against Memphis, 13 against Washington, and 28 against Golden State. His last, let's see here, his last 10 games, he's scoring 16 a game, 84% from the line, 42% from three, 43% from the floor. And so those are numbers that we're used to seeing him perform in New York. And I watched that game against Golden State the other day, and he was again clutch, and he's going to become more clutch as the season goes on. So if they can figure a way to get into this top 6 in the West, they're going to be in good shape in Minnesota. And then, of course, let's not discount the fact that they got Ant. Ant is a superstar. Ant is baby Jordan. Ant is that dude. And so, you don't want to mess around any team he's on. So that's what we got right here. So tonight, that's what's coming to the Garden. No Donte, but they still rough Minnesota. They have beaten our behind before. And so we got to take this seriously. And I don't think that Jalen Brunson and them taking it lightly. They're going to probably give them a nice video tribute today, Donte and Juju, which they should. And, we're going to have nice pleasantries before the game, which we should. But then the game is on, and it's time to get this dub. So if the Knicks can get a dub tonight, this is the thing. Right now, in the standings in the East, the Knicks are again solidly in the 3rd seed. 3.5 game lead on the Bucks, who the Bucks in Orlando are jockeying. Actually, it's the Bucks in Orlando, and now you can include Indiana, who beat Detroit last night. I was watching that game. Detroit just didn't have the legs last night. It was their turn to have tired legs, and it showed. And Obi and them came in there and did business, and especially with that daggone "It's Raining Men" Miles Turner. It was raining threes. That when I turned the TV off, he had 8 threes, and there was still a lot of time left. So yeah, so they came in there and beat. So anyway, so you got Indiana is now a half game from the Bucks. Indiana and Orlando are tied. They're a half game out of the fourth spot from the Bucks, and the Bucks are 3.5. The Knicks have a 3.5 game cushion on Milwaukee in the third seed. And I'm telling you right now, the Boston Celtics lost the last game also, and so to Toronto, and it was their turn to have tired legs. And so you're going to see a dog fight for that second spot. It ain't finished, and we still got Mitchell Robinson coming back. Okay, yeah. So it's gonna be a dogfight for that second seed. Cleveland also lost to Oklahoma City last night. Oklahoma City, no Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren. Okay, they started J Dub, who's solid. I always like J Dub. J Dub is a 6'9", 6'10" roughneck. He could play the 5. He's like, Beef Stew and Precious. He could play the 4 or the 5. And they had him in there, and they beat Cleveland behind last night. See? So, is what it is. So, it's going to be a dogfight in these last 40 games. Basically, right now, the Knicks have played 42 games. You got 39 games left. So, everybody's in that same 40-game area. These last 40 games, it's going to be a dogfight all the way through. It's a good thing that we're getting Mitchell Robinson back now because he is healthy. And when he's healthy, we good. So we're going to be good coming down the stretch with Mitch Rob. He's going to have to come off the bench, and the second unit is going to be dynamite, and we're looking forward to that. But for tonight, Gato is questionable because of the thumb. It's not a season-ending thing. It's questionable because of the thumb. Okay, we did very well with Precious and Jericho against Philly, but there was no Embiid in that game. Okay, there was no Embiid. There will be Rudy Gobert tonight. Okay, so and Rudy Gobert is a low post type dude. He ain't no dude that's on the perimeter, which is good and bad, right? Because you could, you don't have to worry about getting beat from 3 from him, but he will dominate you on the boards and he will protect the paint. So we got to deal with that tonight. The Knicks can win this game. Then this is the thing about this team that we have in New York. We're spoiled. And most people don't realize how spoiled we are. There is no team that we got to play that we don't have a chance to beat. Every team that we have to play, I don't care if it's Oklahoma City, I don't care whoever it is. They could beat us and we could beat them. Okay? It's really toss up every game, depending on the situation, how tired we are, how tired they are, so on and so forth. So the Knicks can win this game, but they could lose this game too. And so we let's get this dub. So if the Knicks can get this dub tonight, it just basically solidifies their standing as the third seed right now. If they can win, they'll pick up a half game on Boston. Right now, they're 2 games behind Boston. If they can win tonight, they become a game and a half behind Boston again. That's going to be a dogfight that's going to go all the way down to April. Okay, it's going to go all the way down to April. So we're ready to deal with that. Again, basic Knicks basketball. Low turnovers. Rebounding. Ball movement, Mr. Brunson. Ball movement, Mr. Brunson. Ball movement. Perimeter defense. Okay. We can win the game. But we got to take care of that business. Got to be just like that. It'd be nice for us to win this game, get around 30 assists, get around 48, 52 rebounds, get some offensive boards. I don't mind if we have that same center situation where you get 23 minutes for Jericho and 30 minutes for Precious. Let Deuce get his 20, 25 minutes. Do what you got to do. Deuce is playing well. He's looking good, looking spry. I'm liking that. We're going to need that. Ant is tough. You're going to need that. Okay? There is no way in hell that Jalen Brunson can stand in front of Ant. Just no. So we're going to need help. Just like they couldn't stay in front of Maxey. Maxey is like that too. They're different players, but same results. Okay? So you got to stay in front of Ant. Guard the perimeter. Rebound the basketball. Keep the turnovers low. And who's the big, for New York, who's the big turnover king in New York? Because you got to, I know Josh throws some stupid behind passes sometimes. Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. It's not like, Karl-Anthony Towns averages 3, Brunson averages 2.5, and Josh Hart averages 2. So it's not too bad. But when you add them all up, 3, 2.5, and 2, right? So that ends up just between them 3 guys, 7 turnovers. Got to cut him down a little bit. He got to come down a little bit. And Gato may not be playing today because of that thumb. I would rather him rest, honestly. I would rather him rest. I believe, put it that way, let me say it that way. I'm of the belief that the Knicks can hold it down tonight. That they can hold it down and then, get this dub. I think they can. Especially if McCall and OG are playing ball the way they were playing, defensive-wise, hitting their open shots. OG been shooting the ball like crap recently. So it's about that time he start getting that little... And it's not like we're looking for OG to create his own shot. OG just has to hit the spot up. And he hit it in clutch time in Philly. I'm hoping he can get back to hitting it on the regular tonight. Okay, so I think they could hold it down without Gato. I'd rather have Gato for Monday against the Leprechaun in them. Y'all know, enough said. The Leprechaun coming to town. We got to take care of that business. But for tonight, I think Sims and Precious could hold it down for us. And so if they could do that, I think we'd be good to go. I think we will. So we'll see. If Gato plays, fantastic. Just don't hurt the thumb anymore. But if not, rest it till Atlanta on MLK game. We have that game usually on the afternoon of MLK. Knicks always play on MLK Day, and it's no different this year. But the Leprechaun coming. And so we got to have respect for the Leprechaun. Got to lock his little ass up. So that's for Monday. So I'd rather Gato rest today if we need to have that thumb ready for Monday and have him ready to go. But I think our boys could hold it down. We could win this game. They got to play Knicks ball now. If they do that, we should be in good shape. Josh Hart coming. One thing I can guarantee you, Josh Hart is going to come with high energy. I can guarantee you that. He's going to come with high energy. That dude is like 2 guys hitting the boards at once. Him. At 6'4", 200-something pounds. That's just him hitting the board. He's like a Tasmanian devil himself. That boy is something else. So I can guarantee you he's going to bring the energy. Let's let the rest of the squad come with him, and we'll be all right. Y'all enjoy the game tonight. I'll see the replay tomorrow night on my own screen. Y'all enjoy it tonight. Enjoy your weekend. Please be safe. Long weekend for some of us. Enjoy and be safe out there. Shalom.